Hi, my name is Rob, and I'm an artist. I've been painting for about 10 years now. In the past year, I started laser engraving and painting items that way. Rugs are new to me, but they're very fun to make. The past year is when I really started to push selling my art, but I never really documented any of it. And this year I thought, maybe I'll just record everything and start uploading to YouTube. I did get sick, hence why it's been about 3 weeks since the start of the year for my first upload, but hey, better late than never. This week I started to make my biggest rug order yet, a 3x5 foot rug of Skyrim, Oblivion, and Morrowind logos. I'm also making the Very Hungry Caterpillar and an apple that has a detached piece for my niece. Except I did a very classic oops on my end, and I was sick when I drew this and forgot to flip the image. This was a big rug and very annoying with my projector to get mapped correctly, so I did not want to redraw it that way. My thought was, if I were to flip it and put it back up, I could maybe see the lines through the fabric when the sun hit it. And lo and behold, it actually worked. There was an instant issue that I noticed though, where the lines were a bit warped, and that makes sense due to how I have to pull the edges tight. But I'll have to fix that when I actually start tufting it. I just want to get the base down while I have the light. I think this channel is going to just be me talking about random things in my art, so if you're into that, welcome. We'll see where this channel goes, but you can expect weekly uploads. This rug was pretty cool, and the person who purchased it designed it himself. It's going to be just all black and gold, but I can't wait to see this thing finished on the floor. I used to play Oblivion and Skyrim long ago, but I just can't seem to get into open world games anymore, and I don't know why. I'm more into roguelikes nowadays. I'm using my phone here because the glare barely made me be able to see the lines, but it looks completely normal on camera, so that's just kind of odd. My niece is probably just as obsessed with the Very Hungry Caterpillar as that man is with Elder Scrolls, and I think they're both going to be very happy with how this turns out. And so here's everything redrawn. The lines may look a bit messy, but you'll see rug tufting is very forgiving on the final product. I won't have enough time to finish the rug this week, but if you want to see the final product, subscribe and check back next week. I did have an Etsy order this week, and it was for a laser-engraved Yu-Gi-Oh photo frame. Customers can customize every bit of this however they like, by choosing a printed or laser-engraved photo. You could change all the text and whatever you want. I designed the image, set up my laser, and let it do its thing. Minutes later, and here we are. I'm blurring the customer's image for their sake, but this was an easy project where I just cut out the image and just put it all together. I start by adding a tiny amount of glue to the front so I can adjust the frame to make it look nice. Then apply a hefty amount of glue all over the back. And there we go. Looks pretty good. They requested this to be a magnet, so it's as easy as just gluing the magnet on the back. With everything assembled, this is now ready to ship. Here's what a finished product looks like. This is the ornament version. The last thing I did this week was make a game. I saw this version of chess that looked awesome. You should check out the channel Peeber, who made the idea, and you can also see the rules there. They do a lot of Pokemon related games. This was an easy project to do, but it's a bit wilder than regular chess. There's technically two boards, where one is the void and the other is the actual chessboard itself. But it's a 9x9 and not an 8x8, and it's also cut into 9 sections. Then after 2 hours, just the first board is done. I love the wood grain on it. And then here's all the other little guys. I went to paint the void part a different color to give it some depth, so you can tell where the actual playable board is. The first color I did, the quality of the paint just didn't work well and was just applying like water. I usually apply a bunch of water to the acrylic to make it more watercolory, which is how I've been painting over the laser engraved wood. It's a whole different type of medium. The general gist of the game is that after every 3 turns, the current player pulls a card and it disrupts the board in a certain way, like moving pieces or rotating them. There's also these rocks on the boards where pieces can't go, so they block them. Queens and knights can go over void pieces, so they are very generally strong. Here I am gluing the rocks on. I wanted them to be physical instead of laser engraved to make them stand out more, and I'm glad I did. Here I am just kind of playing around with how things worked, and I'm actually very generally happy with everything. Here's one of the cards you could pull. That was a spin one. I ordered this little chess set that had some smaller pieces, and I wanted some that were also magnetic. I do have these little magnets and was shocked that they actually worked so well through the wood. My initial thought was to actually laser engrave like a hole in the wood, and then I could put the magnets in there, but this actually just turned out to work really well. Look, ooh, magic! I didn't have enough of the little ones, but I had a lot of these big guys and they were way more magnetic. Funny enough though, I noticed that the magnet weren't working as well with the pieces, but they did the job. I glued the magnets under each square piece except where the rocks were. I had to do this a lot of times, but the result is actually really nice, and I'm very happy with it. Also, playing with the magnetic pieces was really fun. So that's just kind of to show where I wasn't doing it. These also stack really conveniently for storage. I can't tell you how fun playing with the pieces were. This also just kind of gave me Jumanji vibes. Playing with the pieces was just fun itself, so I actually can't wait to play this game. The one thing I still need to make is a voided piece, but that'll be for next week. And yes, here's the final product, as you saw before. I made a handful of games myself, so if anyone is interested in seeing any of them, please comment and let me know and I'll make a separate video on them. This was a nice fun week, and if you're still watching, I hope you enjoyed. You can check out my art here at InkspireStudios.art. I'm still creating it, so not all of my art is uploaded, but I would love some feedback. Thank you guys so much for watching.